It was just one phone call, a single, unremarkable moment on what seemed like any other day. The voice on the line was calm. It was professional. The request was simple. It was a standard update to a supplier's payment information. Nothing about the call raised an alarm. No one shouted. No threats were made. Yet that one conversation, composed of simple words and routine procedures, set in motion a chain of events. A chain that would quietly and efficiently siphon millions of dollars from one of the world's largest corporations. This is the story of how that happened. The request to change the bank account was the critical first step. The scammers knew that large corporations handle thousands of such requests. They are part of the daily rhythm of business. The key was to make their request blend in. They used pretexting, an invented scenario to engage a target. A supplier updating financial information. Simple, believable. They had information from public sources or smaller attempts that made them sound authentic. Names, numbers, little details, keys that unlock trust. The employee hears familiar details and assumes the rest is true. Helpful, patient, not demanding. Nothing to trigger suspicion. Once convinced, the core of the scam proceeds. A single entry in a massive database hijacks a legitimate payment stream. This is business email compromise. In this case, vendor email compromise. Even though it started with a phone call, the principle is the same. Trick a company into sending money to a fraudulent account. Identify the target and a major supplier. Study the relationship. Learn the players. Understand the payment cycles. Gather intelligence. Use tech to bolster credibility. Caller ID spoofing makes calls look legitimate. Seeing a known name lowers suspicion. Tone does the rest. It feels like good service to a partner. With the details changed, the scammers wait for the next cycle. Funds land in an account they control, often temporary. Layering. Break the money up, move it across accounts, countries. The goal is to obscure the trail until recovery is nearly impossible. The success here wasn't tech alone. It was people and process. The employee wasn't careless, likely efficient, trying to help. We need this before Friday, or it'll cause a delay. Acting quickly feels like preventing a problem. Authority bias. Impersonation projects legitimacy. Conformity pressure. Routine requests fit familiar patterns. They're not hacking computers, they're hacking minds. Procedure is a strength, unless the process has a flaw. Without mandatory out-of-band verification, trust becomes a vulnerability. Security is cultural. Encourage pausing and questioning. Scammers study the machine until they know exactly which button to press. And then it looks like just another task. Completed. Once the money moved, the clock started. The transaction looked ordinary, authorized, reference numbers clean. The first sign, the real supplier hadn't been paid. Accounting reviews records, date, amount, recipient, all confirmed. Then the discrepancy appears. The account changed. They find the update tied to a single phone call. By then, the money was gone. Law enforcement and forensic teams follow the digital trail. Records show hops to other banks, often abroad, split again and again. Every jurisdiction adds delay, weeks, months. Funds shift to crypto or high-value goods to liquidate fast. A fraction might be frozen and returned. Full recovery is rare. How can a giant fall for this? Systemic vulnerabilities. Scale. Tens of thousands of suppliers, millions of payments. You rely on automation and standardized processes. A small malicious input into a massive system. A needle in a haystack. Authority is decentralized. Duties are separated. The editor isn't the approver. Each trusts the rest of the system. Fragmented trust gets exploited. Tech defenses stop hackers at the gates. But this wasn't a hack. An authorized user made an authorized change. The bug wasn't code, it was process. Legacy procedures weren't built for modern social engineering. Security has to be holistic and continuously updated. Tech, process, people. The immediate response: assemble finance, legal, security, IT. First priority: stop further losses, freeze payments, launch a full audit, plug the hole fast, report the transfer, ask to freeze funds. But criminals move fast. Often the money's already scattered. Banks investigate and coordinate with law enforcement. Parallel investigations gather call logs, system records, emails, witness statements. Global, long, often involving partners like Interpol. Support matters. Punishing manipulated staff hurts reporting. Use it to improve training and process. The most important lesson is simple. Verify, then trust. Any change to payment details must be verified through a separate channel. Don't use numbers provided in the request. Use known contacts or portals. Employees are the first line. Teach red flags, urgency, pressure, unusual requests, secrecy. Harden process. Two-person approvals for vendor bank changes. Automate holds and alerts on recent changes to catch fraud prepayment. Technology is a safety net, not a substitute for sound process and culture. Keep auditing and updating. The threat evolves. So must the defenses. Empower people to pause. That pause can save millions. This is more than a clever crime. It's a warning about trust. Systems prioritize speed and efficiency. We move money with clicks. They work because they run on trust. And that trust is fragile. Robust defenses can be bypassed with a confident voice and a plausible story. With deepfake audio and sophisticated phishing, caution is essential. Cultivate healthy skepticism. Verify before acting, especially with money or data. Speed is the enemy of security. The power is in pausing and asking one more question. No dramatic arrests. The trail scattered. The ending lives in audits and revised procedures. No system is impenetrable. No company is too big to fail.